here we are, live again. Long time no see, peeps, right? So, just really quick, thank you everybody for joining Jonathan and I today for some live painting and for some music chat and artistry talk and poetry. Um, we try not to disappoint Jonathan and I. And Nancy and Joy, say hello to David for me as always. Um, and we got the boo here, the sassy boo. Oh my goodness. I was up too far. So thankful is here. How will the next I'm staying perfectly grounded? Okay. So okay. Let me oh my goodness, how far did I hit my let's see. So thankful, yes. So let's see. When we get to the questions, I will take note. I had an idea, but that will work. So thankful. And I am thankful for everybody who keeps showing up to my chat and for my lives and for liking and sharing and commenting and doing all that YouTubey stuff. I'm trying to do something with my hair. It's all flat since I washed it. Thankful wants to know. Well, we can look. I don't do predictive readings, but we can look at the energy for the next 3 months because we do have free will to a certain extent. So we can always change any possible energetic outcomes that might show in the cards. Let me take that down. I thought it was like, no. Aw, I wish I still had a grandma to talk to. How nice, Jax. Okay, so I don't know why my mouse pad is taking this long to respond here. So yes, sassy with Island. Hey yo. When I saw Hey yo, I was thinking of the song from Beetlejuice. Deo, Deo, daylight coming, we wanna go home. Be say day, be say day. Airtime frequency, yep. And yeah, that's why it still holds up that and automatic for the people. And the album that I had Losing My Religion. It took me a while to warm up to that song. But yeah, Drive. Oh my God. Amazing, amazing. Uh-oh, I overslept. I overslept. I almost did. I wanted to lay down after having something to eat. Oh, thank you. Thankful. I didn't know if you ever told me the other night if there was another name that you wanted me to go by, but if not, thankful's good. Surf the energy. Yes, we're going to surf that energy. You know, Jax, you got to do your channel, girl. I mean, you would have a kick-ass channel, and we can do like a fun show. Like, I don't know. See, I don't typically do the sidekicks anymore. Maybe do something on a Friday once a month or something where it's like, I don't know, Wonder Twin Powers activate, kind of like, kind of like a Howard Stern show with his cohort, but not as vulgar or as vile. Ziggy Marley, Drive from the 51st State soundtrack. So good. Oh, did he redo or did a different song? I'll have to check that out. I did see that movie. That was, wow, that was something else. I remember Shannon and I renting that movie from, let me fix this a little bit, from Hastings. We didn't have really a Blockbusters. We did, but we also had a store called Hastings. And I remember us renting the Pew Pew Hour. The sassy, we can do the smack the sassy tour. I don't know, girl. It's been a long day. The Sandler formula, wedding singer. Oh my God. That poor guy that kept singing, do you really want to hurt me? The boy George wannabe. Oh, good Lord. So yeah, everybody. I hope everyone had a good week. Um, it's going to be interesting to work on. It's now that Moira, that figure that you saw where I colored in with the white face and with the arm. Now that I'm looking at it from here, you know what it looks like? It looks like the eye and the beak of a raven, and then the feathers around it. Oh, that's so, girl, I see that now. Oh, I think I got me a raven in there. That's an Arquette, rest in peace. Oh, really? I didn't know they lost. Maybe I did. There's just been so many actors and actresses over the years. Shan's been watching those videos on YouTube where they show people and how long they've been married in Hollywood or how old they are now. And we were sitting there just feeling so old watching all the Harry Potter kids all grown up now, married, some with kids. I mean, it just, you know, it's insane how fast time goes. And somebody was calling us a youngin. Was I think it was Glorious was calling John and I a youngin. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, she was or they were a trans. Okay, wow. Alexis Arquette. Why? I think I might. I don't know. These days, I couldn't even remember what I was going to say live yesterday. My brain went. Yeah, I have a lot more of those moments these days. Let me tell you. But a quick shout out. If you want to leave a comment after the show, Gerald just celebrated his 5th year on YouTube, Tarot Stash. So it was nice. I was honored to be able to join the chatters and wishing him a happy channel anniversary. I even got a bitch card. I can't even remember what it said. Something about taking a rope and walking away with it or something. So I'll have to rewatch on that. So it's been a very interesting day. Between the grocery shopping, getting the donuts. Yes, we got donuts. Heather had to have a donut. Then being back here in time for the show. And I just ate a small turkey sandwich. Let's see. The new Dracula, Mina is Rosanna Arquette's daughter. See, I don't do the Dracula. The only vampire movie I ever did was watching The Lost Boys, and that was too gruesome for me. I tried watching some of the Underworld with Shan. I just can't get behind people finding it sexy and romantic to drain another person's body of blood and some of the violence of ripping bodies apart. No, Heather's got bad enough nightmares at times as it is without adding to that. The Twilight movies, I will say I enjoyed. I know people didn't like the concept of a sparkly vampire, but that was reasonable enough where it wasn't so much blood that I could, follow along with it. I do remember seeing the Bram Stoker and being very confused by it. I know Keanu Reeves was in it and Winona Ryder. But yeah, if you're into the Draculas, Rosanna Arquette, yep. The one like when Rossi comes in the chat, her name is Rosanna. I seen the Rosanna song by Toto, but that was actually written for and about Rosanna. He had split up with Rosanna Arquette, and that was his song. Rosanna, Rosanna, never thought that a girl like you could ever feel for me. Rosanna. Wow. Yeah, that's a blast how we were just going like this, Jax, today with the music. It really was. So I have 4 watching in chat. Hello. I know Thankful is here and Jax is here. And Moira. Moira. My fellow artist. Moira, you'll have to join Jonathan and I someday. It would be so nice to have you. I would love to see, your watercolors. I don't like the zombies either. Just too much. I don't do well with gore. I really, really don't. Sometimes with me, there's just so much of that in the real world for someone to go and make a movie and have it just boggles my mind how people enjoy that. And that's just for me. That's just me saying that. I know everybody has their thing. See, to me, well, zombies are more or less, I don't know. But yeah, I sometimes wonder about vampires. I don't know if that girl who told her story on one of those shows one time about New Orleans was actually being truthful or that was just something that she did for the camera. When she had an experience with somebody, she said that felt very much like, yes, you know, they were real and she felt she was almost a victim. Um, Interview with a vampire, that was too much. It was weird. I tried getting into Anne Rice. I bought Queen of the Damned because it looked interesting. I didn't realize how how explicit or graphic it was written also in the book. Um, but yeah, yep. And I've had nightmares where I'm being killed. I'm about to be drained, and mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. No, thank you. So tonight, because Jonathan and I were talking about our favorite artists, I went ahead and I pulled out. No, he said Susan Salette or Boulette. No, Susan Sedan Boulette. I thought it was Susan Sedan Boulette, but Boulette. I do have her deck of animal cards still, and I thought I would bring that and pull a card for folks in chat if they would like one to go with their reading. They really are quite beautiful. I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Whoops. Isn't that beautiful? Birds. And even got crocodile in here. And yes, there's a snake in here somewhere. Is that her right there? No, that's not her. That is a spider. See, I don't mind the spitters. So I brought those. Vampires are clever, cunning, and hypnotic. Yes. And but I don't know. You see some of those movies and they look like they move pretty darn fast. So all righty. Let's get everybody knows the drill. I was just gonna pull from my besides that, I wanted to pull from my Emerald Papyrus. And I want to be able to read from the book tonight because the authors take a different approach with a lot of the cards. And I love the additional information they share about the cards. And they include illumination. They include, there was an illumination and I think a shadow. Or was it just the illuminations? Let me take a look here. So the majors, she didn't give the majors a shadow, but the other ones, the minors, she did. And because tomorrow the moon is going to be half and half, unless I wait till tomorrow to do that perspective. All right, let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Okay, let's put the ticker. So Moira, I love whatever you decide to do. Okay, but we can still take the 3. So Moira, is there a specific question or something? Or just see whatever the cards come up with? Inquiring minds want to know. So yeah, let's pull. I think I'll pull an animal one. And I haven't used this deck in at least, okay, I'm losing track. That's how long it's been. Just the general. Gotcha, girl. Moira, sorry. So thankful. I'll get to your question with the tarot, but you got the monkey. There's the monkey. Isn't he cute? So the monkey symbology is about agility, courage, and spirit. So we can also use this monkey energy. And we're talking about the monkeys too today, briefly. That's cute. I named this one Mickey because he was my favorite. So the monkey is an ancient deity worshipped by Middle Eastern peoples. In the Hindu Ramayana, a monkey hero named Hanuman helps rescue Sita, the god Vishnu's queen, who had been abducted by a demon. Hanuman was made invincible by Brahma, the grandfather and creator, and possesses the skill and agility to leap across the heavens. He leads a monkey army against the demon and rescues Sita, for which he is granted everlasting life. This painting of a monkey recalls the power of Hanuman and his dominion over the heavens. And I think this might have been published after she had passed away. We lost Susan very early. She was around, I think, 55 or 56, and this is going back to, I think, around 90, just when I first started discovering her, somewhere between like the early 90s, possibly, where she passed from breast cancer. She was 55. But all the work, that she did between then, and her artwork, her medium was using pen, ink. I also believe oil pastels were included as well. So a lot of her pieces were these beautiful mixed media pieces. So, but yeah, so her name is Susan here. Like I said, she's passed. Let me do. Let's see. So yeah, that was created by the Susan Eleanor Boulay Fund. So let me just type that in there. Susan Sedan Boulay or Boulette. That is the artist. Alrighty. And Thankful was looking for the next 3 months. So what is the energy surrounding the next 3 months? Okay. And again, we can always change the energy. But for Thankful, in the next 3 months. So, we got the Emperor, Mr. Sneaky Sneak, and the Ace of Discs. And let's see in the middle. Ooh, Two of Columns, which is the Two of Wands. So let's look at the basics with the cards. I pulled 3. Alrighty. So it's next 3 months. I can look at this as the overall energy for all 3 months, or each card could possibly represent. Now, let's just stick to these cards being the overall energy of the next 3 months. Like I said, I don't do predictive because, again, energy is always changing, it's always shifting. But let's take a look at what we got here. So the top card, so it's going to be like the tangible energy moving forward, is the Emperor. You got Mr. Snake there. And there's that card. Isn't this deck beautiful? And so we're going to see what they shared about the Emperor in this book. I mean, this book is like amazing. The pictures, just really quick, the picture, and then, all the information. It's because we know the Emperor is about, leadership, being a fair ruler, being someone who's looked up to for their responsibility, their fairness, and how they rule and guide others. So I am trying to figure this out in her book. I really need to sit with this book. So how is she doing? Oh, so that's how she does it for the majors. Okay. All right, she does it a little bit different with the pictures, but here we go. So, okay. True authority, excuse me, arises from spiritual sovereignty, not dominion over others. So, so I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this. The Uraeus, which is the snake, and this is spelled Uraeus, Uraeus, is what I'm going to go with. Is a cobra-shaped emblem symbolizing divine protection and sovereignty. It often adorns the crowns and headdresses of pharaohs and carries with it the sacred authority of the gods and the divine right to rule. So, okay, that's when you see them with their crown stuff. You see that snake coming up. That's what that snake represents. That's what it's called. In Egyptian mythology, the Uraeus was intimately linked with the goddess Wajet, the cobra deity and protector of Lower Egypt. Its rearing form was not just a symbol of territorial guardianship, but also a manifestation of cosmic power and cosmic balance. As it is poised to strike, the Uraeus symbolized the potent energy of creation and destruction, reflecting the duality of existence. To wear the Uraeus was to carry the mantle of both protector and preserver, a role deeply entrenched in the spiritual fabric of ancient Egypt. Its presence invoked a timeless reminder that the true sovereignty emerged not solely from earth, but solely from earthly might, but from the divine alignment of the spirit and our eternal connection. Interesting. In relation to tarot, basically the same information sits upon the earthly throne, so a ruler. So they're also guardian and protector. So the energy looking forward to this next 3 months, I'm starting to get like an idea, is with you, thankful, being someone that you could possibly be a protector, a guardian of somebody or others. And this position that you take, or this role that you take, is seen as fair, is seen as just, that there is dignity and basically valor. I didn't say valor, but there's respect towards it. Let me see what else. Leadership rooted in sacred duty to uphold cosmic harmony and justice. So there, people know when they go to you, whatever you decide or whatever your actions are, everything that comes from you comes from a place of that's just, it's fair, it's respected. The illumination, sovereignty, divine dominion, authority, divine masculine energy. And sometimes, we have to take roles. Like, with reading for Jax, there are times when she had to take on what would be considered like a male role. So it's not, gender based, but there are times when she's got to be mom and dad in certain situations, taking on those aspects or those elements. I like this: protection and boundaries from that which could do you harm. So you're a protector. This is a beautiful card. Building on a firm foundation, cultivating generational wealth and abundance for all. And the soulful reflection, they give a reflection, thankful. If you want to write that down to journal, is: if it was required of me to take on a leadership role, what emotions, behaviors, or morals, values would I prioritize? And so I think that is going to set the stage here for the next 3 months. So there is this the sense of, again, guardianship, protectorship. People see you as a protector. I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know if you're in any type of like social work, um, law enforcement, or even being a boss or a manager where you rule or where you I hate using the word rule, where you like run or how you manage an office or anything is done from a place of integrity, of leadership skills, of fairness. Now the middle card is the two of columns, and the two of columns is the two of wands. And the two of wands is, isn't that beautiful? Look at those eyes. And the two of wands is basically looking out into the world. So in traditional tarot, it's an individual who has the world in their hand, the globe, and they're looking out to see what they can, the world is open to them. There's plans are being made. Um, you know, when they say, and sometimes they use the word scheming, but not scheming as in a bad thing in this one. It's like you're making plans, you're getting ready, you're making designs, you're trying to figure out things. You're in the process of planning something. That inspiration came from, the Ace of Wands, and now with the Two of Wands, that's taking that idea and making laying plans out to bring this to fruition, to manifest this, because wands are all about manifestation. Well, it's the magician, so it's about manifestation, willpower, directing that energy, that passion. So there is. So I'm going to look at your third card, which is the underlying energy, and it's the Ace of Discs. And the Ace of Discs is that typical hand of spirit coming out and handing opportunity. So there's potential, there's opportunities, and I love, it. The opportunities are going to be at your fingertips, my dear. And this may be something already in the works because of the Two of Wands. It feels like there is something already brewing in your mind, something that you're creating, something that you're expanding, wanting to look out to do. And that Ace of Disc, which is Pentacles, is that potential, that opportunity. It could be financial. It could be something that will provide a sense of abundance and prosperity. Maybe not always necessarily with money, but it may come in the form of people stepping up and saying, well, if to make this happen, I can help, or, let me offer you my service, or let me do this, or it may come again, abundance can come in all forms. And there's that beautiful sense of possibility and potential coming your way to create that foundation. I mean, the Two of Columns, you're already planning and getting ready to create that foundation. And that Ace of Discs, that's going to be coming in. So be open, keep your eyes open for possible opportunities, financing, backing, volunteering. But that Emperor feels very much like, I don't know what it is that you do, but because of your leadership quality and skills, and just knowing that people know that they can trust that you are fair, and that you are, I'll say fair and just, but yeah, that's what I have. But I want to look at the Two of Columns here, because they go a little bit more into, let's take a look at here. Two of Columns has to do with, I'm just going to read the traditional. I love this here. It's a card of vision and personal power. So that's another word I like. Yes, you have a vision and you're starting to plan it. You're starting to craft it. You're trying to figure out all the details and how to make this work. This could be possibly a proposition, not proposition, a proposal of something. I don't know if it's a program. I'll just leave it at there. But it's also embracing inner power and envisioning spiritual expansion, signifying a time of choices and growth. So yeah, that's beautiful. Let's see the stars. It says it's connected to Aries energy, Mars, first house, and spring or days. So this may be when they're talking about upcoming spring. So you're asking about, in the next 3 months. So there you go. Also associated with the card is the number two, of course, number two, two of columns, red jasper, sacral. And if it's a yes or no question, it's a maybe. So right now it's kind of like in the process of it's in stasis. It's where it's kind of in limbo. You're still trying to put things together and wondering how to make it happen. But the ace of discs, the ace of pentacles, that looks very promising. It really, really does. So let me just see here. Anything else jumps out at me because it's like 2 pages of the stuff. I am ready to make a commitment and move towards that which is for my highest good. So yeah, so that's in the middle. So that's going to be something that you have to decide moving forward. And if that opportunity comes along, if it doesn't feel like it's the right opportunity, or if it's the right type of help, or something makes you hesitate, like I need to study this first, then take the time to be able to do it. That's something I learned this year. An ace of pentacles discs can be, a wonderful sign to say, take it, go for it. But if we feel at that time, if it's not quite right, we have to consider that as well. So, yeah, Moira, not a problem, sweetheart. So, is there anything that you can, I'll say if there's anything that you can share that can, so understandable, beautiful. That sounds beautiful. You're a retired teacher. Okay, so there's where the leadership. So I don't know if you're planning something in your retirement programs, or if you do community work, then being part of, I don't know if you could be part of PTA or something that's still connected with the school, or doing something for kids. For me, I automatically want to go, and maybe an after school program or an organization or a community group to help children, no matter what age, you taught. And maybe that funding, to me, feels like you're looking for funding for something, and that will connect with your skills and your credentials of being a teacher. So, all righty. Keep us informed. So go ahead, Moira. Write down what you want, sweetheart. And I'm going to take a sip. So I've been doing a lot of talking this afternoon. I'm very, very dry. I'm not wet, moist. I got moist in my throat. Oh, that was a great afternoon with you're in Michigan. That's where I think I was talking you were the one I was mentioning Taos Bay to, where my sister used to live and I spend the summer. How can I find joy this weekend? My usually daily card pull question. How can I find joy? Well, let's look at the animals. See what the animals have to say. How can I find joy? In the small things, the small pleasures. Come on, animals. All righty, what do we have? Moira, you got the owl. Oops, let me take this down. So, Moira, you got the owl, sweetheart. Let me just take this down so you know that's you that we're reading for. Sorry about the glare. I'm using my light at a different angle. So we got the owl. I mean, she really did an amazing. It's kind of hard to see, but her work just has layers and eyes and other things hidden within it. And it says here, owl, symbology for sexual energy. Is that going to be your joy this weekend, Moira? But seriously, we got darkness, liberation, The owl is a nocturnal bird strongly associated with the moon and feminine energy. Lilith, a goddess of the Talmud and early Christian Gnosticism, is frequently represented as an owl, which is interesting because I've seen her represented as a snake. Usually the owl is like Hecate or Santa Muerte. So I don't know how familiar maybe some of the foundation trusts were, but I digress. This is what we need to hear. So let's see. She was Adam's first wife before Eve and is known for having refused to assume a subordinate role in marriage. Although she has traditionally been associated with dark sexual energy, she is a powerful and liberating feminine spirit. So yeah, it's interesting they associate her with owl. I would have much seen her associated with the snake, but yeah, owls are also about wisdom. They're omens, listening to our intuition, acknowledging, when our guides are trying to get our attention, even in the form of an animal. So, Athena, yes. Athena also with the owl. So, it's interesting how they associated the owl with Lilith. And Lilith may very well be also associated with the owl. But every time I see her represented, she's pretty much is all surrounded by snakes. But hey, that would give something the owls to eat. Ooh, lunch. I actually have a picture in my Jeremy Hush tarot deck that's got the hermit, which is the owl, a horned owl. And if I remember correctly, it's got a snake in its claws for lunch. So you have a lifelong association with Athena. Well, interesting that I have these cards because I know most of this is Egyptian, but sometimes, the Hellenistic influences of Greece and Rome and Egypt. Snake sandwich. Yeah, in Arizona, there was a restaurant where someone said, you can always try, having rattlesnake, for lunch. And I'm like, I digress. Like, thank you, but no thank you. So, Moira for this weekend. So, right off with the owl, it feels like there is work that you may want to. So, what I'm automatically getting, and I'm kind of going through in my brain, what the practical would be practical for me seeing would be working with doing shadow work that will help release maybe some traumas, or even if it's not major like a trauma, but things that, maybe individuals for forgiveness or for things for ourselves, and working through that and liberating a piece of that from ourselves that will bring us a sense of joy, of happiness. Kristen Louise, what's up, girlfriend? So, and it said liberation. It also said, okay, it didn't say that because I thought, I remember it reading about activism, and I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't say activism on there. So maybe something in the community too. So, okay, Moira. Go, girl. You got yourselves a bunch of Sekhmet. Ooh, I'm assuming that's Sekhmet. I have to open the book. Ooh. Well, I do have a card here that shows that sense of joy coming out of darkness. So this is all kind of connecting with the cards here. So you have the overall, like, tangible physical energy. I like to call it the tangible, what we're able to see, even though we may not be able to touch it, but it's tangible to us. We can freely see it. It's clearly, we can clearly see it. Is the three of discs, which is the three of pentacles, and you have a whole bunch of sekhmets all together there. And I love how, even though it's not three, it's still people coming around to help this one particular statue. So the statue is surrounded by others. To me, it's like coming together. For me, it feels like circle, community, people recognizing again your talents and want to support that and encourage it. It's a very empowering card. I want to see if that is Sekhmet. The three of discs, which would be the three of pentacles. Oh, I just wish you could have kept the name of the the cards the same as, but anyway. So this is about collaboration with higher forces to manifest creative visions, symbolizing spiritual growth through craftsmanship. So you're talking about art, your watercolors. This could be what brings you the joy, working through darkness, working through things that the art can help you maybe express, that will give you a sense of liberation, of freedom, and brings that sense of joy. Got feisty kitties. Oh, how cute. So let's see. Associations with this card: Capricorn, Mars, 10th house, and winter or months. So 3 months. So it could be this winter, next 3 months, but we're looking, you want to focus more here on now. So we're looking more, the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You're interested in the weekend. So let's see if she didn't mention if these were Sekhmets. I'm pretty sure that's Sekhmet. Because Bastet, it could be Bastet too, but this one here looks more like regal Bastet. I've seen her more, fuller, more playful, more like, Mama Kitty kind of, although she does have the claws, just like the little ones that are on Kristen's lap right now. It says here, its deeper meaning lies in the recognition that this card represents not just teamwork, but also the synergy that occurs when we align our efforts with a shared vision and a sense of divine purpose. Wow. Oh, and I love this too. When I love the words, to recognize that our individual contributions are essential to the tapestry of existence. So the number 3, of course. So if you're into numerology, looking at the 3, citrine, solar plexus. So yes, seat of power. Also, our sacral is also our creative. The orange also has to do with creativity. And if it's a yes or no question, it's a yes. It's considered a yes card. But yeah, I like this. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what's going on here. What's up here? So I want to share this. This is a journal prompt, Moira. How can I honor my unique talents and gifts, valuing my own worth and recognizing the contributions I bring to the world? I think she's coming a lot from a spiritual perspective in this deck and developing one's spiritual path and growth. So it also says here, the recognition that our spiritual journey often involves collaboration with others. So what's going to bring you joy this weekend? I think finding a way, working with your art, working through maybe some shadow work will bring you, maybe it'll give you like an epiphany, like a, because it says liberation. It may open up some areas, may soften. I'm feeling the word may soften some areas within yourself, towards yourself. And with creating, spiritual creating, This could be very well calling in your guides and your muses, whoever helps you with artistic wise that you might create with. And maybe something will come up this weekend where you will see an opportunity to maybe work with the community, to maybe share your artwork. Um, yeah, I know I just like stop, but it's just like sharing the artwork, sharing your experiences. You know, there may be people that you may come across this weekend where showing your art or sharing your story helps you, brings you that joy, that helps you with that sense of liberation and moving on. Maybe it could be with a group of women. Um, and when it says sexual energy here, I'm feeling also, a lot of trauma from, because, a lot of us women have experienced, sexual trauma in one form or the other, in our lives. And this is a powerful message, especially with the owl and what I'm also seeing in the stars, to take any form of or sense of trauma like that, or even if it's not on that kind of a physical level, but others where we can express that through art and sharing our stories with others and creating that sense of community. I don't know where I'm going with this. This could just be something Heather's in her brain right now, Moira. So let me just move on. You did get the Goddess of Wings, which is a swords card, and it's so beautiful. It looks like she's wearing a crown of stars on her head. She's got tattoos, on her body. And so I think the goddesses are considered, I think, the queens. So let's go find out. Where are my wings? Nope, that's not my wings. There's my wings. So, okay, no, the queens have their own. Okay, so the goddess, that's funny. The queens in here are the knights. The priestesses are the queens, and the goddess is considered the king. Hi, cat goddess. So, a visionary leader embodying the mastery of the mind and its alignment with spiritual principles. And it represents, of course, stability, rest. And we all know, the king of swords is someone who is very well, can manage their thoughts, their emotions. Again, a sense of fairness, practicality, very clear, very concise. Is associated with Libra, Neptune, the seventh house, and autumn, or when it comes to years. Of course, the mastery of the mind, the embodiment of wisdom tempered with compassion, and the transmutative power of using our intellect to serve higher spiritual truths. Wow, I like her writing. Its deeper meaning lies in the recognition that this card represents not just intellectual supremacy, but also the profound alignment of our thoughts with divine principles and the integration of our wisdom with a heart-centered approach. Miss Tarot D! Mwah! Hello, my dear. It's good to see you. And it says here, Moira, this card calls us to recognize that the true spiritual authority arises when we use our intellect not as a tool of domination, but as a means of enlightenment and service. So again, Moira, I don't know if you're getting together with women or if you have friends or something in the community. It just feels like they're all coming around you, being drawn to you, with this card, and then having that spiritual element of, with the owl, again, about working maybe through. And when I say trauma, I know trauma gets thrown around so much, but even those uncomfortable feelings things that may not be as traumatic as they used to, but they still hold a place within us that we can share and express. And I want to look here too because there's also another prompt for inner healing, and it says, how can I integrate the qualities of mental clarity and objectivity to heal any conflicts or balances within myself? So, again, this could be maybe you connecting with other women in the weekend, or this could very well, too, Moira, be your guides. You're calling your guides around you to surround you, whether they be spiritual guides, or if you want to think ancestors, deity, Athena. I don't know if you have any associations with any cat deities like Sekhmet or Selkat, or if you work with Freya, any of the cat goddesses. But then that goddess of wings, it says here too, with the keen edge of intellect and the compassionate heart of a ruler, I wield the sword of truth and lead with wisdom and fairness. And that's Athena's aspects. She is about wisdom, whether she was fair with what she did to Medusa, but that's all male written mythology. But Athena is about, she's the warrior. She's the warrioress. She's about truth, wisdom. I mean, the connection's right there. So yeah, it's a lot about strength, my dear. Suggesting leadership qualities that inspire respect and trust in others as well. Resilience and the ability to remain grounded and composed in the face of challenges. And then Moira, your last card, the underlying energy, got the star card. And how beautiful is that? How amazing. So again, for me, it just feels like there's things that can be released this weekend, that your creativity, however form it takes, whether with your watercolors, your arts, or working with the journaling, the prompting, or even spiritual communication and communion with your guides and your ancestors. There's going to be that underlying energy of having hope, dreams, and there's still time. You still have it within you to be able to pursue and follow your star. I just love that. And typically it shows, the jugs, like with Jonathan today, he was painting the star card during the show. And so again, about balancing emotions and our dreams, and what we can bring into our lives. So that's what I have for you, Moira. I hope that resonated, sweetheart, and I didn't go off on a tangent. So, hey, Miss Tarot D, what's up? And we have and I'm talking about Sekhmet, and Cat Goddess comes in. Hello, hello. And and Shelby is here, the foxy lady herself. Awesome star card. We'll keep that in mind over the weekend. All righty. Sometimes I wonder if I put too much of my perspective into the cards and not necessarily what the cards are trying to say. Let's see. So Miss Tarot D is here. Wayne's saying hello. So Cat Goddess, I like whatever wants to come out or whatever I need to know at this time. Okay. So let me just cross. I did thankful, Moira. We got Cat Goddess and Miss Tarot D. Last time I read for you, I did a faux pas. I did a no-no. I went ahead and pulled cards without your permission. So I apologize for that. That was something I wanted to mention yesterday when we were talking. I didn't get a chance. So I did a reading for you without your permission, and that was my bad. I get excited when you pop in, and I like to do readings for you. But I just wanted to mention that to you while you're here in chat. So let's do a sip, everybody. I know today is treatment day, Miss Tarot D, so I hope you're home and relaxed. And Kristen Louise has got her kittens all over her. I'm sure you must have little Sunny and little Lola with you as well. And give Hector my best. Alrighty, so I am pulling from the Animal deck by Susan Sedan Boulay. So let's see what animal message comes out. And then I'll pull a couple of tarot cards. And it's 555 my time. And let's see what animal came up for Cat Goddess. Whoop. The goat. Let's see. Let me just bring the... Okay, let's move this down. Sure, Kristen. Let me know if there's a specific question. Let me make sure. Yes, all my hair fell out, not because of that. Oh. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. No, how did 50 Cent sing? Shorty, it's your birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday. Oh, my goodness. Let me see. Keep that in mind over the weekend. Okay, so Cat Goddess. You got the goat. The greatest of all time, right? I'm still getting used to that saying. So with the goats, we are looking at the energy of caprice, mischief, sexuality, and fertility. And when fertility doesn't necessarily mean, fertility as in, having children. It could be fertility and creating something that's outside of ourselves, something creative, whether it's art, a new job, creating, maybe something, a new project for oneself. So it says here, the Greek satyr was part goat and part man and represented Latian. Oh my God. You can tell I haven't looked at these cards in a while. Well, let's just skip that word and say mischief. They added mischief. So the goat was also the symbol of Pan, the woodland god of the flocks, fertility, and nature. Pan was a lusty deity whose emblem was the phallus. Well, Miss Tara D, you're just in time for the goat reading. Not that I'm insinuating anything like that. But so if this gets, let me know. But we're adults here. So when hunting was poor or the flocks declined, the Greeks would blame Pan and beat his image with squills, a type of bulbous herb, to release his reproductive energies. Pan was thus an early scapegoat. How interesting. Yeah, spicy. So, see, Miss Tara D brought in the spicy. She always does. Russian peasant folklore tells of a similar mischievous forest spirit, the Leshi, or Leshy, which had goat hooves and horns, as well as black fur, wings, and a tail. The Greek god Dionysus was also frequently represented by the image of a goat. Someone with a Dionysian character is considered frenzied, lawless, or possessing orgiastic propensities. My, the words in this. Hey, Julie, what's going on, girl? Pan was into BTS. Well, apparently, or his followers were. So, wow, Cat Goddess, welcome. That's interesting. So we're looking at, fertility. We are looking at, what else? And the word scapegoat, that's interesting. The goat, again, Pan being the same like Hern or Cernunnos. They are the gods of the wild. They are the wild spirit, the green man in some aspects. So, wow, possessing orgiastic propensities. Well, let's see what tarot cards you get on top of that, cat goddess. Shelby, let me know if you want cards for your birthday, sweetheart. I don't know how long you can stay. So, okay. Nine of Wands. Strength card. Well, cat goddess, you got a cat. Yay! Okay, so this energy that we're looking into for you, I got the Ace of Vessels, and that is the Ace of Cups in traditional. And I love how the hand is going into the water. It's connecting to the hand is connecting into what we have. It's our water is life. Water is what makes up most of our blood. We are very watery beings, and this beautiful hand connecting with the water is very symbolic for me of getting in touch with the fluidness, the fluidity of our emotions, our sensuality, our intuition, that feminine within us, and exploring and welcoming new emotions, new joys, new things to be excited and happy about. But just a beautiful card of overflowing emotions. Your next card, the Nine of Wings, would be like the Nine of Swords. So this is talking about right now. There might be a sense of difficulty. There's maybe stress, anxiety, things that are making it hard for you to relax, to be able to sleep. Here, she's bare on the ground, feeling vulnerable. So with the Nine of Wands. Oh my goodness, that's a tough card for a lot of folks. So it's interesting with the word scapegoat coming through with this. I don't know right now if there is something currently going on with you that you feel like you are being considered like a scapegoat, like people are um, maybe blaming you for things or insinuating, or even maybe or your own self, your thoughts, because the swords are about our thoughts and sometimes how we communicate with ourselves. And this could very well be maybe that sense of Ace of Vessels with all those emotions right now. You may be feeling a lot of those, which may be causing that Nine of Swords, where it may be emotions where we're um, having a hard time thinking through them. Emotions, you know, I'm trying to figure out what it's. So for me, it feels like some emotions have been brought up. Sometimes when we get excited about something or very emotional about something, or we start tapping into our emotions, sometimes those are emotions might be something that might make us feel uncomfortable. It may be emotions where um, we may be happy one moment, but then we kind of have that feeling of maybe I shouldn't be happy because of this happening. So it just feels like there's a sense of a lot of emotions, and these emotions are creating thoughts um, that are keeping you um, from really being able to rest, to ease your mind. But the card that I have to go with that for the underlying energy is the Strength card. And there you go. You are surrounded by cats. And this is either Sekhmet, or I'm thinking this might be Selkat with the lions. Because I think Selkat was one of the main lion, was a lion goddess. So you have that strength within yourself, sweetheart. Um, and the line, the strength card's about us being able to tame, the wildness within ourselves without harming. I don't want to say harming ourselves. I don't want to turn it to that kind of message. It's embracing that wild nature of us, and being able to sit and be with it and know that that strength is something that we embrace, and we don't have to control, or over control our wild nature, or our, and in this case, maybe our emotions, again, with the Ace of Cups. But it's acknowledging that you have the strength, you have the fortitude within yourself to be able to overcome any of this Nine of Swords, these emotions and thoughts that appear to me that are keeping you from being able to be at rest. And with her being exposed, maybe things that have from the past, or emotions maybe making you feel like maybe you're overexposed, or you exposed yourself, and maybe there's this fear from things in the past where we want to show ourselves and be ourselves, but sometimes things, kind of shut us down at the same time, and then we have kind of like that fear. But I'm just going to end there. If any of that resonated with you, please let me know. I got a cat sleeping in the same room. Yeah, mine's been a little shithead, and I can say that's my channel, waking us up yowling like his, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, cats. Gotta love them, but whew. So that's what I have for you, Cat Goddess. Okay, good night, Shelby. You you want the goat card? Oh, Kristen, let me take a sip. And I want to take a look at another card. So I wanted to pull another card, Cat Goddess, and I got the Ten of Wings, which is the Ten of Swords. So, sweetheart, I don't know if this is something that is in the past that you are working through, or something's kind of come up recently. But the Ten of Wings is the Ten of Swords. So at least it's the end of a cycle, sweetheart. It's time for you to be able to take out those swords, name them, own them. They no longer, have any, they're no longer piercing you. They have no longer any connection to you. And with the typical, Ten of Swords, they're on the ground. It's time instead, the sun is rising. It's time for a rebirth. You just take those off, shake yourself out, and each day is a brand new day. And I don't like snakes, and I would love this if they didn't have the snakes in the skull's mouth, because you got the beautiful butterflies up in there too, which is about transformation. So now it's the time to end of one cycle. It's time to rebirth into a new one. So yeah, that powerful version. It also feels like, the venom of coming, things that come out of people's mouths, or when people show who their true nature is, where they show what their real skin is like, or, it's just like, yeah. But, in death, there is rebirth. It's the end of a cycle. And so it's time to start anew. And I love that Ace of Cups, though. That's beautiful. Connecting with our emotions, remembering we're emotional beings, we're spiritual beings, learning how to, live and experience with our emotions, and being able to even put into water. Another beautiful aspect of that card is also being able to, what I would do here is whatever those emotions are, those negative feelings or thoughts, I would go down by the water, put all that into my hands, and then give it to the water and ask the water to cleanse and take it away and transmute it into something that's more beautiful. So, excuse me, that Ace of Cups is like a cleansing as well, like a little baptismal. And then taking that water and sprinkling. So, yeah, that's what I have for you, my dear. Thank you for letting me read for you. And we got Kristen up next. Let's see. I don't know. Is the goat going to come back up for Kristen? I'm surprised, Tom didn't pop into chat when I pulled the goat card, because I think that's one of the Baphomet or something supposed to be a goat. And he has working knowledge of. And a pan, especially with Hellier, that we were talking about, the wild guy, the wild god. Yeah, the god of the wild. Yeah, the wild god too, apparently. So let's see, what did you get, Kristen? You got the totem. Ooh, look at that. They have their hands on your shoulders. So the totem. Now, a lot of those are the peoples up here in the Pacific Northwest. And this is about guardianship. That's the key word, is guardianship. And it says here, Kristen, although the word totem derives from the Algonquian word totem, meaning my kin, the concept of animal totems is universal in Native American culture and other cultures around the globe, or indigenous if you prefer using the word indigenous. Animals are the guardians of tutelary spirits, and each person and group has an animal totem. Individuals inherit totems at birth, acquire them through marriage or by membership in a clan, or learn of their watchful presence while in a trance. Native American dancers invoke the power of the totem by imitating the animal in posture, movement, and dress. Totems were also represented in elaborately carved totem poles, which functioned as grave markers or the emblems of a family or clan. And there you go, my dear. Isn't that beautiful? Especially with the hands on the shoulders. So I am getting strong guardians, ancestors, Kristen, especially with your ancestry. I'm sure, you know, you have quite a few, especially with their energy. I don't know if that same energy carries onto the other side, especially if someone was a king or a ruler or something like that. I don't know if that sense of energy continues on the other side. So when they're around you, you may feel their presence more often. So let's grab some cards. Okay. And Kristen, you didn't ask a specific question. Did you? Well, that just flipped out. Okay. Oh, this is interesting, Kristen. You'll see in a second. I love when the cards connect. Girl. Okay, so that flipped out. So I'm going to connect this card with that one. Okay. So Kristen, wow. Talking about, ancestors. No, just wanted to see what they say. So we're talking about ancestors, guardians, family, clans, especially. I don't know if the Nordic people, I think they had clans, if I remember correctly. So that's coming through even with this. You got the 10 of discs, and there's two wolves in here. And I don't know I know Freya is cats, but I don't know if you associate totem wise with any of the Nordic. I know wolves feature, but you have two wolves here, and you got the 10 of discs. And the 10 of discs is about family, inheritance, legacy. So right off the bat, you have ancestors here, my dear. Odin had wolves. Okay. And he had wolves and he had ravens. Wow, that's pretty darn cool. So it looks like you've got a couple wolves guarding. So we have a portal here. So for me, this is connecting, crossing over to the other side, ancient times, and your ancestors, your guardians are coming through for you on this. And the 10, again, about being, your legacy, the gifts that you receive, maybe a sense of security, stability. It's also with health. So a lot of things that has to do with health. So this is all very much straight. I'm just getting hit up straight up um, ancestors, and they're walking with you through portals. Now I don't know if you connect at all with ancient Egypt, but they're facing that main pyramid, and a lot of people are now starting to see that pyramid. Not, a lot of people are saying, "Come on, there weren't for storing tombs. It was a place of power, where they harnessed power, things that Tesla were connected to, and understood." And so this kind of facing towards the pyramid, which for me represents a power source. So looking to your ancestors to walk with you through these portals, through these changes, through these, I keep saying the word portal, but through these phases of your life, through your journey. Now, the card that is going to go with it is the Queen of Vessels, and that is the Queen of Cups. And that nurturing. So for me too, ancestors, it's feeling that this is a feminine ancestor, or could be an ancestor that had feminine like qualities or expressed them a lot stronger. But again, this is also an acknowledgement of your sovereignty, of your connecting with your intuition, your emotions, that nurturing aspect. So it feels very much they are there to nurture you, but to also provide that sense of stability and encouragement in walking through with you on your journey through these passages. Um, the next card I'm getting, I'll go back to the other one, but I want to continue the thought here, is the Ten of Columns, which is the Ten of Wands. So even though there's no wands on this person showing um, any oh, feeling sense of being overwhelmed, or over, what's the word I'm looking for, overwhelmed. There's no heavy weight, there's no heavy burdens. To me it's beautiful because it's like we're now moving through those columns. The Ten of Wands is like releasing the burdens, and you're walking again in the water. And where the water and the sand, that's that liminal space between worlds. So you have the physical and you have the intuitive, and that beautiful sun and clouds. So again, it's almost like walking towards um, another portal. I don't say portal, another gateway. Let's say gateway, another, another, oh, I don't want to say crossroads. I think there's another word, but it's another passage that you're ready to move down, a new pathway. And the Ten of Columns, at least with this picture, it could be said that that Ten of Columns, because it is the end of a cycle, we can assume that she set those aside, that they're no longer, a burden to her, to you, and that you're being able to walk more now with your emotions, and being grounded within them. But that Queen of Vessels, I want to pull something up. I keep getting directed to open up to the Queen of Vessels. So let's do that. So, Queen of Vessels, emotional and spiritual quests. So, again, you have the totem, you have the guardianship, you have the wolves at your side. You're going through, maybe trying to, that with that pyramid, claiming your power, going to the source, of your power. Um, the burdens have been released, or they are in the process of being released and relieved. It's by connecting and tapping into your queendom, your sovereignty, that will allow for this. The associations with this card is Pisces, Neptune, the 12th house is also connected with the season of spring. Um, so actually, in this deck, the Queen of Vessels is not the Queen of Cups. Again, they changed it. It's the Knight of Cups. So this is a card embodying romance, creativity, and emotional depth. It means its deeper meaning lies in the recognition that this noble seeker beckons us to embrace our emotions fearlessly and to harness the power of love and intuition as we venture forth on our spiritual journey. Um, Let me see if anything else jumps out. Illumination. Ooh, Kristen, bewitched. Are you bewitching anybody? Are you bewitched? I love this enthusiasm. Um, I allow my creative passion to flow and be the guiding light on my journey. Guiding light, the light is basically guiding you right here in this card. And I love the fact that there's, for you in this reading, that those burdens are no longer on them, that burden has been released. It's been given back to the earth. It's been given back to the mother. And Kristen, your underlying card, girl, trust in your magic, trust in your abilities. High priestess, trust in your wisdom. I mean, the totem card, your guides, your ancestors. I want to say guides are like ancestors. Okay, ancestors. So we have those ancestors walking with you. You are not, it looks like you may be alone in this card, but you are not. You are moving forward. With the knight here, her being a knight, actually knight energy, that is somebody that wears their emotions on their sleeve. That is someone that is very willing to help people. They're very chivalrous. I hate using the word chivalrous. They're very empathic to others' needs. They want to take care of them. I know that it's very similar to also the Queen of Vessels, or I should say the Queen of Cups. But here, there's this there's this need. It's that when we were youth, like the knights, as we start to get into our older years, we wanted to have that beautiful romantic love, wanting to be that cup was, how do I say this? We wanted to be the everything for those that, oh, hey, Allison, um, that we were for people. Um, it's that offering of love. You always offer that to people when you read for them, when you meet with them. It's a beautiful thing. With the Ten of Crowns, though, with that wands, it feels like some of those that weren't quite um, accepted, those cups that you offer that weren't accepted or had been, but no longer. I think this may make sense to you. That may have been that burden, things that you had to carry with mom, with relationships, and learning how to trust again in your abilities and your power and your higher self. You've got, pretty much. I believe this is Isis in the book. How beautiful! So that wisdom is within you, and your ancestors want you to remember that, acknowledge that, um, and to be maybe more emotional boundaries, not to close yourself off from others, but to be able to be emotionally available for those who do want to be a part of those with you, those relationships, who want to actually be in that moment and share those emotions with you, those deep parts of yourself, of your psyche. um, but for me, this feels very much more being guided towards your spiritual journey, and knowing that you may feel like you're walking alone. You do have your ancestors, and look at that, their hands are on her shoulders. So that's beautiful. I love that, Kristen. Thank you for letting me read for you and asking to be read tonight. I love all the messages. But and that's why I said hello to Julie. Yep. Hey girl, hey, Kristen Louise. Wow. Yeah, Kristen, let me know later on privately if you can, if that resonated. um because I know you shared some things with me. I am bewitched. Yes, I know. That's why when I was seeing that, I was like, Okay. I should redo my ancestor altar when you got the kittens. Yeah, that to me that was just shouting ancestors. I mean, my goodness. And then the two wolves and Odin and the Nordic. So yeah, that's amazing. I will have to re-listen. Inevitably, my husband started talking. Yeah, Murphy's Law, right? So I'm going to take a sip. So hey, girl, hey, how was your week? I sent you some pictures earlier. We just had such. We were supposed to get snow, everybody. I know I was telling everyone how excited I was. We were supposed to get at least a couple inches on the ground this weekend. I guess Medford did. We didn't, but we did have some beautiful snow on the mountains. And this morning it was all misty, and I got to see a herd of family deer out in the fields. I got to see the horses in the mists eating. It was beautiful. And then yesterday, two ravens. I mean, my goodness. So um, a lot of beautiful nature-based, blessings going on here. Alrighty, I think that was my last reading. Well, somebody else wanted one. Again, I have my Susan Sedan lay cards, animal cards out that Jonathan had. I mean, after he brought her up during our live painting session today, um, I was just like, I should pull those cards out. I really should. I mean, her work, just absolutely, just beautiful. Um, here we go. Here's a nice one too. I think this is the crow. Yep. There's the crow. I believe she's got a raven in here too. I should pull these out. Seeing that I'm working with the Morgan now. Um, we're learning about each other. Let's say that. So there's the one with the crow, and the crow says renewal, transformation, magic, abundance. It says here, like the raven, with which it is often synonymous, the crow wields powerful magic. In Native American myths, the crow restores order to the heavens. A Sioux belief links the crow to abundance and prosperity. One legend tells of a white crow that warns the buffalo every time hunters approach. This leads to hunger and starvation, and the crow is eventually captured by the hunters and thrown into a fire. Oof. Ow. But it escapes before being completely burned, being only blackened by the flames. Black becomes its permanent color. As the crow flees, it promises never to warn the buffalo of approaching hunters again. The crow is thus a kind of phoenix that rises from the ashes, symbolizing renewal, transformation, and the promise of abundance. And I know the raven is in here. Hey, mousy girl, what's going on? I'm still doing readings if anybody would like one. There's the one with the fish. Very colorful, too. Excuse me. I know. Oh, too bad Shelby still wasn't here. I got the fox. There's the goat. Let's see. If anybody has an animal that they would like to hear more about. Oh, there's the dog. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Look at this beautiful seahorse. Look at the colors. Oh my God. She was an amazing artist. Yes, please forgive my. Yeah, you always say that. Today was pretty decent. Well, that's good. Hi, Anthony. Let's see. Where else do we? I know. Oh, look at the color in this one. Parrot. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And yes, there is some nudity. So if you don't like nudity. And this is the spider, which is interesting. But yeah, that's beautiful. I love the colors in that one. Spider protection, aid, and wisdom. The Ojibwa people hang hoops of spider webs over their infants to protect them from harmful influences. I didn't know that. Other Native American peoples, especially those of the Southwest, associate the spider, of course, with the grandmother. spirit who lives underground. The spider grandmother is a source of wisdom and a link to the underworld. She rises from her realm to offer advice, particularly before a dangerous or large undertaking. Let's see, making sure I didn't miss any requests. How does everybody's week going? Mine's been pretty good, except for my medication being tripled on me by my healthcare system, my healthcare provider. Not cool, or should I say the pharmaceutical company. Let's see. I know there's a raven in here. Oh, there's another one similar to Totem. Look at that. You'll be the caboose already, girl. We have the wolf in there. Oh, we have the deer. We have the eagle. Of course, we have the snake and some other animals. That's beautiful. Alrighty, I do want to find that raven one. I actually should pull those out. There's the monkey. Oh, she's beautiful too. Look at this one, the peacock. Isn't that gorgeous? Thinking I might get a new phone tomorrow. Ooh, enjoy. It's always fun getting something new. The horse, I love the colors. Look how illuminated. I know it's kind of hard with the glare. But wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, Irene Firehorse. I don't know if she's still here, but friendship, wisdom, and strength. In the Chinese zodiac, horse our people are friendly, adventurous, and passionate. That it is. Let's see. Well, they even include the insects in here. We got like a mantis. Oh, that's beautiful too. I love her colors. And she did this with pen, ink, oil pastels. Oh, and this for us cat people. There's the cat. And independence, of course, magic and abundance. Yep, the divine mother of all cats was the goddess Bast, an earth mother and deity of life and abundance. The Greeks associate cats with the goddess Artemis, the huntress and virgin goddess of the moon. That's interesting because I'm used to seeing her with a hound, like a greyhound, or a deer. The Roman version of Artemis was Diana, who was known for witchcraft. Ooh, witchcraft. Of course, there's the snake. Very interesting. I know there's a raven in here. Where is my raven? Kingfisher. Up. Is that the? Yep, here we go. There is the raven. And we watched the video recently about this guy and his team that studied and watched this family of ravens and how they raise their young and then they have to chase them out and they have to go find a mate and find their own territory, and how these two live together. And I think that's what I saw yesterday when I went to the store. I'm always seeing ravens by our one supermarket, and I think that that's their territory that they have etched out for themselves. And it says here, raven, creation, magic, and illumination. The raven is frequently associated with powerful magic and omens. Its symbolism parallels that of the coyote and the rabbit in Native American myths, and it is worshipped as a deity. The Haida and Tlingit peoples of Western Canada and Alaska revered the raven as a hero and a helper of human beings, a role reflected in the bird's prominent position in the totems of the Northwest. The raven is believed to have placed the sun, moon, and stars in the sky, bringing light to the people both day and night. The painting of the raven amid the celestial bodies of the night sky recalls the Haida and Tlingit legend. So, there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Very, very, very nice. Cool. So, alrighty, caboose. Let's put the cards back in and let's see who we get for you. And quick thank you again for everybody who joined Jonathan and I today for our live painting session earlier. We had a blast, and thank you, Jax, for all the modding that you did. That was wonderful. And for anybody else who did modding for me that I couldn't see while trying to paint, thank you also. Oh, you haven't picked it out yet. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Jax, you got the Raven. I just pulled that. So, wow. Girl, creation, magic, and illumination. Wow, wow, wow. Well, you are a helper of human beings. You help those kids as much as possible. I mean, you're that mother energy. You're that Mother Hubbard. Nevermore, nevermore. So let's see. Let me take a quick sip and see what we get for tarot. This emerald papyrus is something else, y'all. Let me tell you. I don't know why she just didn't keep the queen for the queen card and made it a knight. But that was her deck, and that's how she wanted to do it. Oh, okay. That just came flying out. Don't have much, but I can feed a fish. Okay, let's see what we got here. We had one fly out. So, oh wow. Okay. I always say, oh wow. Hey, Jackie B. Miss Jackie B, if you're nasty. How you doing, girl? I hope you had a good show with Scott. Everybody be sure to also subscribe to Jackie B. She is finally going live on her channel, so yay. Okay, Jax. I think with the Raven reminding you of your magic, it is also a reminder, not necessarily a reminder, but it's kind of also, it's a reflection, it's acknowledgement, that's the word I was looking for, of, it says, it uses the word prominent position. And so how prominent you take of a position in the kid's life, especially Vince's friend Aster, if I got the names right, if I didn't mix the two kids up. So the card that flew out that is going with the 8 of discs is the 5 of vessels, which is the 5 of cups. And we know the 5 of cups as being, a card of sadness, grief, depression, just, a lot of emotional stuff that's been building up. And I'm looking at this card, and I like how she kept the moon in there, because the moon affects us on and I'm talking about the moon, and Miss Jackie shows up, Miss Moon Lady herself. And so the moon, how it affects our emotions, and we are all different. And so with this moon going, it's either going full or if it's starting to wane, but it feels, and with her wearing a black cloak, it feels like you're at a threshold, instead of saying a portal, a threshold of emotions where they may be sad, they're heavy. I know where that part is coming from. The parts that, that bring you down, that you wish that you can change, but you already know everything that you can do has been done. So, and she's heading towards that pyramid, that main pyramid of power, looking to it. I'm just going to add my own take on that. Also, adding, looking to that pyramid, looking for that pillar of strength. Um, and right in front of her is the Nile, um, the place of emotion. So going to the water, standing by the water, maybe, if you can at some point, or using even the water in your tub to allow, that to cleanse, to help. I mean, sometimes the best place to cry is in a tub or in a shower because the tears go into the water and it goes down the drain. So it helps us flow and connect with our emotions and release. And that Eight of Discs, girl, you have worked hard. You have focused. And it says to stay focused. Um, and this is the discs. Being staying focused though too on getting better, getting your health put together, staying focused on you, your family, projects that you're working on, things that are important to you that must come first. And the Sphinx, I'm going to open the book because I'm curious as to, well, the Sphinx has got, well, the Sphinx is focused on the sky, you know, um, particularly if I remember correctly, the rising sun. Of course, they're, assuming he was, once a lion. So there's a lot of different takes on what the Sphinx actually originally looked like or was meant to be. Bye, Allison. Have a good night, hon. So the Eight of Discs, like the Sphinx, just keeping your eye focused, keeping your attention focused on what is most important right now. Um, and you can have those emotions, but know that to let them to drown you. Um, you already know that. But I love that Sphinx, keeping your eye on the prize. We also got the Fool card, the Scarab, and the Fool again about having that sense of faith. Um, I want to open this one up because they look at the major arcanas differently, But that Fool, it's all about your potentiality, The Scarab, sculpted. I believe it was the sun, the moon, out of its dun. I think that was, and put that moon up in the sky. But the Fool, nothing reckless here. It's just not losing, having that, and actually looking down at my laptop and how the cards are facing. The Sphinx is actually is looking at the Fool, at the Scarab. So it's like, don't lose sight of everything that you're working towards. Don't lose the focus of your goals, of things that you are creating, developing, etc. There's so much potential out there and potential within you, to have that faith that things will move forward. I still want to look at that in a second. And your underlying energy is the Hermit. So going into, I would be careful sitting on the ledge of a very tall column because that would be a very other has to add a little humor into that, right? But it's being in that tower, being timed for yourself. Um, Again, she's looking out into the sky. She's got her lantern, and she's looking in the clouds, like with the Sphinx, looking out, introspection, um, and reflect on what it is that you want in life. Right now, you're going through a hermitage, so to speak, because of the surgery. So this is a time when they're like really saying, focusing on the spiritual, focusing on yourself, um, going within, and I'm looking for the right, shining that light within the dark places, and feel. So this is interesting. So this is the first card, which is about sadness, grief, loss, depression. And here we've got the Hermit card. And so for me, I'm looking at, oh, look. Hey, Mac. Hey, Jax. Have fun. So this is you searching that light within those dark places, those emotions, and healing those areas right now, taking the time to be able to do that. So I don't know if any of my mods, hang on a second. Okay. No, I do not want to show. I want to, there we go. All righty. I don't know if anybody saw Tarot Destroyer in chat, but I just took care of him. And hopefully he doesn't come back. That's the first time I've seen them. I didn't know they were back. So how interesting. So yeah, illumination. So yeah, that's what I got for you, girl. And all righty, here we go. I was wondering how long it was going to take. So I guess they're determined to come tonight. I ain't going to go anywhere. I'm not going to leave my show because of them. Yeah, with the clouds, the shining the light within our shadows and starting to kind of go within and walk through ourselves, walk through our bodies, feel where we're feeling, the sadness, the pain, working through what you can. Longest one is 24 hours for me. It had longer before. Wow. I keep banning this individual, and I don't know why they still keep coming into my chat. Are y'all seeing him? That's weird. It's, you know what? I'm curious about something. I want to pull cards on something. Oh. Yep, definitely need the strength for this. Oh, yeah. If you remember back in the day, it was relentless. I want to know, do I know who this individual is? This Tarot Destroyer that has popped up tonight. Do I know this person? Nine of Cups. Hanged Man. Two of Swords. Okay. Wow. Well, good thing I wasn't in the middle of my show. But don't you all find it kind of coinky-dink? Well, Heather does. Heather was around a few other places recently in the community that I haven't been in a while. And now with the new channel and me letting some people know, all of a sudden they're starting to show up. Yeah. So, yeah. So everybody, any fun plans for the weekend? I'm not going to let this obvious maggot-infested zombie. Crazy is as crazy does, or stupid is as stupid does. Yeah, gotta love Sam Elliott. And that was from The Big Lebowski. Only the dude abides. So, watch football? Yeah, I was really disappointed. Of course, the Bills dropped the ball again. They are such an embarrassment. I mean, I have been around just as long, if not longer, than the Bills. And not once has that team won a Super Bowl. And we were there 4 times at one point. It just ding, 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 shit's going on. Your team is the Bucks. Well, yeah, that I can say, no, I don't want to put my referral in there. Keeps coming back on. So, Jax, how do you think they do it? They just change one number in their, but yeah, you're not allowed to change your channel name for like 2 or 3 days or so. Um, they obviously have no life. Otherwise, hmm, good freaking Lord. Yeah, I'm looking to see if the numbers change. I think a bunch of them they'll create multiple channels, and each one is banned. They'll go to the next one and then go to the next one. Dude, get a fucking life. And then some people are like, just don't pay attention to them because they want the attention. So, but it's 6:52 here, and we are having cheeseburgers for dinner. Nothing super fancy. It's just alphabet soup after yeah, that is true. So this weekend, I'm going to work on that painting and probably do a pop-up tomorrow. I have 2 decks that could do because the moon's going to be, equal, half light, half dark. So if I have the energy or I have the feeling for it, I will do that. So, but yeah. So, alrighty, everybody. Well, we're down to 3. So, everyone, have a good rest of your night. Excuse me. Have a great weekend. Thank you again for hanging out with me today and with Jonathan and I, and for letting me read for you tonight. And we will see you all in another chat or a show, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.